Alright, so for this project we're going to use Adobe Audition, and what I'd like you to do is find a story that you enjoy reading, a short one. In fact, I guess it doesn't matter if it's a short one or a longer story, because you should just do maybe a page or two of it, because I don't want this project to be too long. But for me, I've chosen one of my favorite authors, Ray Bradbury, a story out of the Toynbee Convector, and it's called One Night in Your Life. So to get this going, we want to open up Adobe Audition, and if you hit Multitrack right here, you're going to want to, don't leave it untitled. We'll need to go browse and make sure I've already done the work here. I've created a new folder, wrote Ray Bradbury as a folder name inside there. I think it automatically made this. And let's see. Well, I think there might be a problem if I don't rename this. So this will be my first try. And I already did this and it failed on me. I was using a different program. Bradbury. So this is good because you get to see how to set this up. So you got to create a folder, and notice it's in Adobe CC, and then there's a subfolder called Audition. Select that folder and then give it the name Ray Bradbury. Of course, you name it whatever your author and story are called. Alright, so now we hit OK. And now the Multitrack editor shows up. I'm going to hit R. And if you set up your audio correctly, it should be show a meter moving. And if you didn't, then I guess control comma, and then hit audio hardware. Make sure, most of you will probably be using some USB microphone. Mine's called Yeti, so it's set up already, and that's why it's working. So you hit R to arm for record, and then you hit this. And I'm now recording, and you can see the waveform that my voice is making. And I, of course, don't want this audio that's being spoken right now to be part of my project, but that's not a problem because I can easily remove that later. So if I get started, and I want you to be, some people get really nervous when they get on a mic, but you actually don't need to be, because anything that you don't like, you can fix later. You can redo stuff. So, Ray Bradbury, One Night in Your Life. He came into Green River, Iowa, on a real fine, late spring morning, driving swiftly. His convertible Cadillac was hot in the direct sun outside the town. Within the green overhanging trees, forests, and abundance of soft shade, and the whispering coolness slowed his car as he moved toward the town. 30 miles an hour, he thought, is fast enough. Leaving Los Angeles, he had rocketed his car across burning country, between stone canyons and meteor rocks, places where you had to go fast because everything seemed to be fast, hard, and clean. I kind of hesitated in that sentence, and so I might want to actually fix it. I might say, leaving Los Angeles, he had rocketed his car across burning country, between stone canyons and meteor rocks, places where you had to go fast because everything seemed fast and hard and clean. But here, the very greenness of the air made a river through which no car could rush. You could only idle on the tide of leafy shadow, drifting on the sunlight-speckled concrete like a river barge on its way to a summer sea. So at that point I might stop and let's take a look. I have a class right now, actually, so I can't let you hear the audio, but I can tell you that this is the point in in the recording where I started speaking again. It's not part of the story. So I'm going to grab the edge here and bring it back. And then I'm going to put on my headphones and find that spot where I messed up. And it's actually good that I messed up so I can show you how easily it is fixed. But here, the very places where you had to go fast because everything seemed fast and hard and clean. Okay, so I'm going to scoot back. That you grab this little slider. Places where you had to go fast because everything seemed fast and hard and clean. Actually fix it, I might say leaving Los Angeles. Okay, right here's where I say leaving Los Angeles. I started that same section over, and so I want to make a cut right there. And you can actually zoom in if you want to be more accurate. I could make this smaller, and then where's my cursor? Right there. So if I want it to be super accurate, I'll cut right there. I'm going to use the razor tool, cut it, and then let me find the other spot where it starts. Let me make this a little bigger. Leaving. I kind of hesitated in that sense. Okay, here's where I'm talking about how I hesitated. So I'm going to scoot back to the next section right here. Places where you had to go fast because everything seemed to be fast, hard, and yeah, right there. Right there's where I kind of hesitated. So I'm going to cut it right there. And now let me zoom out and adjust this so I can see the whole clip. Here, from here to here, I want to delete. So I'm going to use this tool I can drag it down and I don't have to drag it down. I'm just showing you that that's cut now. And so I can just delete it. Oh, and by the way, check that out. If you scoot it, you can see it's crossfading. And that's kind of nice. I think I explained that in the previous video, that if there's overlapping tracks, they'll crossfade each other. So anyways, I'm going to delete it, and then I'm going to want to drag this whole thing over and test it out, see if it sounds good. Canyons and meteor rocks. Leaving Los Angeles. Sounded like I said something extra there. Well, I can just, you can't hear it, but I can hear where I was finishing saying the word saying or say. Leaving Los Angeles. So I'll scoot that over. Leaving Los Angeles. So piece of cake. It's actually really easy and fun to edit audio. Oh, and at the beginning I also had some audio that I need to take out, and I'm now recording, and you can see, so it sounds like I start right here. And I want you to be Bradbury. Right there, that's where I say Ray Bradbury. So I'm going to zoom in, and looks like I can use plus and minus on the keyboard to zoom in, and I like that because it zooms in right on the cursor. So I'm going to, now let me test that. Ray Bradbury, yeah, right there. So I'm going to use the cutting tool, and then I'll grab the arrow tool, select it, hit delete, and zoom out. I think if I hit this, it'll zoom me out. Yeah, that tool right there. And now I'm going to grab, I'm going to select all this and just drag it over so there's not a bunch of dead space in front. But I won't push it up against the wall. I want there to be at least a little bit of time before it starts. In fact, how much time is that? It's like 1 second. Yeah, that's not a big deal. All right, so zoom back out. Anyways, that's how you do this. And if you messed up on a section and you discovered it after the fact, it's also very easy to fix. I could just come in here and reread a section and then compare the two and, insert it. So from here, which we'll get to in the next video, I want to add some background, either music or just sound effects. A bed of music is what they call it, or a sound bed. And then I also want to find little sound effects, like maybe when I'm talking about the car driving, having the sound of a car in there. And in that case, I might actually need to, in some cases, I might need to slice and move over so I can overlap the sounds and not have it sound rushed. But we'll get to that in the next video.